big deal.
What's going on, everyone? It's yours truly, MC Bonde, the voice of Africa, and I hope you are doing well. I am here, your host for Skitindasix. Yes, we're gonna have a good time today. We have some amazing comedians lined up, and also, because of what I've been seeing in the clubs, people not dancing quite to the tune, we have some dancers in the building, because I've been seeing people dancing to a song that is going north and they're going south. Songs have been going east and they're going west. I have no idea what's going on in these clubs, but tonight or today, we're gonna make sure that you get some dancing lessons. Without further much to do, let's bring up our first comedian. He's representing the motherland, of course, Africa, representing West Africa to be exact, Nigeria. Talented young man with a beard. You do the math. Give it up for the one and only Mr. Dre.
Celebrating with y'all. Like he said, man, my name is Mr. Dre, Nigerian, like he had mentioned. And it's nice to be here. Let's get into it. First things first, man. I came to this country, Canada, the beautiful country of Canada. I came to this country as a foreign exchange student. Because the time when I wanted to come, there weren't enough visas. So for me to come to the country, someone had to leave the country. You know what I'm saying? The only problem is that I moved here in 2010. It's been 15 years since someone went back in my place. I don't know if they know this, but I'm not going back. You know what's funny? I called the other guy the other day. You know, his name is Kevin. I called him the other day and said, "How you doing?" His name is now Kunta Kinte. You know? So yeah, it's been exciting being here. I'll tell you a couple of stories before I go. When I came to this country, I came with a friend of mine who's Ghanaian. I remember when I landed, you know, everybody was like, "Yo, let's go and do exciting things." And I remember before I wanted to come to the country, I had to take some medical tests. And because, again, like I told you, we couldn't afford a visa. There was no way we could afford any of the medical tests. So we took the regular ones, the malaria, the regular tests. And then I remember my dad putting on my report that we fasted. So we're in God's hands. But I remember coming to this country and getting here. The first thing that I wanted to do was go and check my blood pressure. And everybody kept asking me, "Whoa, why do you want to go and check your blood pressure? Let's go to Tim Hortons, let's go to the mall, let's see all the exciting things that Toronto has to offer." I was like, no, I need to check my blood pressure because I heard that healthcare is free. Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, I went to the hospital, checked my blood pressure, I had a clean bill of health. 3 weeks later, as I'm just, hanging around, I get an envelope, mail. It's from the hospital. I open it up, and the one thing I see there is my hospital bill from 3 weeks ago. Ladies and gentlemen, I had a $635 bill. My blood pressure rose up. Yes. You know what's funny? My roommate at the time couldn't tell if I should call the hospital or let me faint. And since that day, I tell all my friends, if I ever pass out, if I ever faint for any particular reason, please leave me there. When I'm tired of fainting, I'll get back up. But I don't know about you guys. If you're a firstborn, you probably will understand this. I'm also the firstborn in my family, right? And I remember my dad saying, I'm the first, like I said, I'm the firstborn. Also the first comedian in my family. And depending on who you ask in my family, I'm also the first failure. I remember growing up, I wanted to become, go into the arts and everything. And I remember my dad, I have 4 young sisters, and my dad would always call me to the center and be like, "Yo, my son, there are 4 young women looking up to you. If you stray away from the path, what will they do?" And, obviously when you hear that kind of thing, you don't want to disappoint your parents. You kind of stray away, you kind of like set back in motion and kind of stray on the path set in front of you. Another time I tried to stray from the path, my dad came to me, he's like, "My son." And every time he does it, I think he thinks he's Lion King or Black Panther. I'm not sure which one. And he came up to me and said, "My son," the 4 young women, obviously reset. But after being in this country, like I mentioned, for close to 15 years, you learn a couple of things, like how to talk back to your parents. So one day I got up, went to my dad. Very confident. My dad was sitting right beside my mom. Very confident. I walked up to my dad. I said, hey, Dad, I think I know what I want to do in life. You know, I think I figured it out. I said to him, you know, straight to his eyes, I said, sir, I think I want to put a smile on people's faces. My dad jumped up in excitement as an African man. Jumped up. He looked at my mom. He said, hey, our son wants to be a dentist. Like, hey, Dad, you got to slow down. I just said I'm trying to, put a smile on people's faces. I want to do comedy. My dad looked at my mom. Your son thinks it's funny. And now, if you ask my father, he'll tell you he has 4 daughters, no sons. Yeah, man. It's good. What else has been happening? Yeah. I want to tell you about this one. So, I don't know if you guys know this yet, but people in Toronto are renting out the rooms that they currently live in. Now, for the people in the back of the room, I'm telling you that people in Toronto are renting out the rooms that they currently live in. So, I can afford a place right now. So I'm on Facebook Marketplace. And I'm looking for a place to live in. And I put in the search bar, find me an apartment, right? An apartment pops up. It's being rented by this guy called Hassan. And he's renting out his room for $500. So I'm like, yo, this is a sweet deal, but I gotta ask some qualifying questions. So I go on Facebook Marketplace where I found a place and I'm typing, and I go, hey bro, I just wanna ask a question. Are you currently renting out the room you sleep in? He's like, yeah bro. And I'm okay, cool, let me ask you another question. Are we gonna be sleeping on the same bed? He's typing, it pops up. He says, yeah bro, but I give you space. I'm like, this is not a relationship, I'm just trying to find an apartment. I said, okay, let me ask you another question. Are you telling me that we're going to be sleeping on the same bed? You're sure? The same bed? He goes, yeah, bro. But I know gay. Unless you gay. I'm like, you know what, Hassan? I'm going to have to think about this for a second. Let me get back to you. And he's like, no, bro. Let me ask you a question. I'm like, yeah, what's your question? And he goes, if you give me a big spoon, I'll give you 25% discount. Now, for those of you watching, if you wonder what a big spoon is, basically, this is Hassan when he goes to bed. And every time I come up from work, I'm supposed to cuddle Hassan. Now, if you thought that I said no to the rental, you are dead ass wrong. Hassan is currently my roommate. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. That's my time. Appreciate you.
Hey, Skitindasix! It's yours truly once again, MC Bonde. I hope you enjoyed my brother. Yes, the Niger guy who has failed G2 11 times. I'm surprised he's failed 11 times, yet he drove here. So I don't know what's going on there. But he's Nigerian. What do you expect? We got some amazing comedians, like I said, and look out for the dancers who will be joining us later on in the show. Definitely going to be a vibe. And speaking of dancing, we're going to take it to my brother, born out of Jamaica, but based in Montreal. Yes, and I did ask him, he does speak French. He is a Jamaican who speaks French, and he's here. So ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the one and only Cedric Newman!
He's back doing comedy. Man, the world needs to laugh. There's 2 wars going on. There's a machine that suggests 18% tip on takeout. And kids are wearing pajamas to school. Oh, it's crazy. But let's be real, COVID's turned this whole world 180 degrees upside down. Kids were sneaking out of their house to go to school. You go to eat on a patio, you're in a parking lot. Before COVID, somebody sneezes, you go, bless you. Now somebody sneezes, you go, fuck you. And black guys were allowed to wear a mask in a bank. Remember wearing a mask? Didn't you hate wearing masks? You ever sneeze or burp in your mask? Don't you feel like you just shit your pants on your face? And at one point, a new variant was coming out every 2 weeks like a Popeye's chicken sandwich. You had original, crispy, extra crispy, all made you feel like shit. This last variant sounded like a transformer, didn't it? What do you have? Omicron. And it all had these side effects that we didn't know about, like the Delta variant. What was up with that? Can't go on planes? They had a UK variant, where your teeth were messed up. They had a Brazilian variant. What, you lose your pubes? I was waiting for a Jamaican variant to show up. It'll probably be here in 2 years and you're pregnant. What do you have? Soon come. But all these viruses was about the corporation. It was about the corporation and making money. Like Moderna and Pfizer made billions of dollars. AstraZeneca made millions of dollars. Johnson & Johnson had a 2-shot vaccine that did not get FDA approved, but they didn't care because they were making millions off of Puff Daddy. What, too soon? I had to do, we split what? We should have known. We should have known the whole world was turning 180 degrees upside down 10 years ago when all the signs were there, when Future Shop didn't make it into the future, when the best rapper was white and the best golfer was black. I was trying during COVID, a white guy didn't win the 100-meter dash in the Olympics, and a black guy win the Briar. Can you imagine a Jamaican like myself curling? Yo, get the Swiffer. Yeah, and we had to do so many weird shows during COVID. I had to do a show at a drive-in theater. I had to make cars laugh. If they liked the joke, they honked. If they didn't like a joke, they high-beamed. You know how degrading it is to get flipped off by a Dodge Caravan? What are you supposed to say? You got one headlight out, Karen! And I grew up in Montreal, like you said off the top, and we had it bad. Well, BC, I don't remember COVID, but BC had the most cases. BC started with 2,000 cases. And then my province, Quebec, followed suit with 2,500 cases. And our premier, his name is Francois Legault, he's always over the top. He's like, hey, Tabernacle, we are not shutting nothing down. If you catch it, you catch it. We had it so bad in Quebec, we had to curfew at 8 p.m. We had to go home and go to sleep. Frere Jacques, Frere Jacques. A lot of people don't know the rest of that song. I did that joke in a place called Hamilton. They're like, Sepa la patina. It's like a ding-dang dong. We had to do, actually, I was so proud to be Canadian, though. I was so proud to be Canadian during COVID because we were the first country to withdraw from the Olympics. Our IOC leader, his name's Richard Pound, he made the executive decision. I remember reading the newspaper the next day. It said, Dick Pound pulls out. I was like, thank God. I did a lot of traveling last year. I had to go out west. Out west was pretty cool. They asked me to do a show in a place called White Rock, BC, in a Jamaican restaurant in White Rock. I'm like, is this a witness protection? There's no way a Jamaican restaurant in White Rock. And I went, and sure enough, I prepared Jamaican material. I walked in, the only Jamaican in there was the owner. You had 2 white people serving the food. You had 2 East Indians eating. You had 2 Asians eating, and 2 Spanish people playing the reggae. This wasn't a Jamaican restaurant. This was Noah's Ark. And then I had to go from BC to Alberta, and I knew it was going to be bad in Alberta. I went from brown neck to redneck in less than 24 hours. And the first place I went was a place called Breton, Alberta. Yeah, exactly what it sounds like, a bunch of crackers. Then I went to another place called Aunt Ross. Aunt Ross, Alberta. Doesn't it sound like that's your uncle transitioning? So I was on the way up to I was on the way up to Fort Mac. And you know it's far north when the highway's called the Alaskan Highway? And it's scary as a black person to do small towns. It's scary to do small towns because white people always ask us to do weird stuff. Like, hey, Cedric, you want to go cow tipping? You want to go on a dump run? I knew this was going to happen in Fort Mac. I got there after the show. The white guys go, hey, you want to go to the Peelers and yell obscenities at the strippers? Like, why would you want to heckle your mom? I didn't say that to them. I knew there's a drug problem out there. I forgot my hair gel, so I went into the store called Save On, and this white guy was in the toiletries section stealing shampoo and conditioner, and he was bald. I'm like, yo, take the 2-in-1, it's lighter. I had to do a show in Quebec City. Quebec City is the most hypocritical place in Canada. They want the rest of Canada to have their signs bilingual. We go to Quebec City, all their signs are in French. Like McDonald's Playland is called Park Renard. KFC is called PFK. Staples is called Bureau en Gros. I thought Wendy's, which is going to be called Julie's, would have a side ponytail and a cigarette in her mouth. Ooh, hey, Dave! Somebody came up to me the other day and they said, hey, you don't look a day over 40. I said, I'm 50, I'm over 50. No way. You don't look a day over 40. Tell that to my hips. I got great pubes. You know the hardest part of being 50 is if you drop two things on the ground, pick them up both at the same time. Don't try to go down and come back up. I told that to my buddy that's 60. He goes, when you're 60, don't pick anything up anymore. You just kick it under the bed. But the hardest part is I had to get reading glasses. I can never find my reading glasses. Now I got to get regular glasses to find my reading glasses. And then when I go shopping for my toiletries, I find all the bottles look the same. Like my shampoo looks like my conditioner, looks like my body wash. When I'm in the shower, I don't know whether I'm shampooing my body or body washing my hair, but my pubes feel revitalized, and it's color safe to protect the 50 shades. You know what I hate doing though when I travel? I hate taking public transit. I cannot stand public transit. I feel like a visitor of another generation. Art of conversation has gone out the window. 80% of people are on their technology. One person's always on a laptop. You ever notice? There's always one guy that's like one bad eye contact away from going postal. It's like a bad, he just looks like he's ready to explode. If this guy snaps, I'm going to be the only one to notice this. I'm going to be the only survivor on CP24 talking about he was a lone gun man with 28 refurbished cell phones for sale, one MacBook. I like CP24. CP24 is a news station in Toronto, and everybody there has the most aggressive names, like Patricia Juggernaut, Bakari Savage, Dina Lalafat. Your name is Phil, you're not getting the job. And every time there's a black guy that's wanted, I feel like the more cornrows he has, is the more time they're going to ask. If he has the one big puff, the judge is asking life.
What's going on, everyone? This is Skitindasix right here on FEVA Music. Yours truly, MC Bonde, holding it down. And as promised, it's time to take you on a dancehall scene with some queens who are going to show you some moves. CK, 10K, Chiffy, collectively known as the Chipperson Dancers. One time, FEVA Music.
Him woman mad for me, that for me now, mad for me. Papa, pizza, pillar, liquor, killer, telly bar, swing, syrup, panaras, gla, pilla, spliffia, feeder. Lord, mama says she can't hear it, son. Your body need to your bumper run. Turn your bumper run, get mad for me now. Head top for me now. Rock your back, sit down, panny and rock for me now. Catch your foot in the ear, drop flat for me now. Arch your back and make it clap for the crowd. Get mad for me now. Head top for me now. Rock your back, sit down, panny and rock for me now. Catch your foot in the ear. Catch your foot in the. Pop perk and see got gal along out it tongue. Pill put in your back. Catch your foot and sit down. Now sink in your back. Moonwalk on your head. Let me see if you're bad. Charge it pass it rum. Chase a dog it done. Weed like half a lung. High half a jug. She frost half a gum. Yo, Ruppy tell a rookie me we pop off my gun. Hey, mama get mad for me now. Head top for me now. Broke your back, sit down panny and rock for me now. Catch your foot in the ear, drop flat for me now. Heart your back and make it clap for the crowd. Get mad for me now. Head top for me now. Broke your back, sit down panny and rock for me now. Catch your foot in the ear. Catch your foot in the ear.
Skitindasix, I'm having lots of fun. We still got more to come, and coming to the stage right now, this guy is hilarious. Alright, he has an AKA that resembles what he looks like. This guy studied, he was actually studying medicine in Ukraine. Yes, in Ukraine. And he's one of those that made it out. And he's here to give you some laughs. He is representing Nigeria, ladies and gentlemen. They call him the short man. Give it up for the one and only JK Debbie!
Hello, everybody. I'm so excited to be out here in Toronto, Skitindasix. Canada is a beautiful country. When I first came to Canada, my first job was a door-to-door salesman working for World Vision. $1 a day saves a kid in Africa. So I was trying to save my brothers and sisters in Africa. My first day on the job, I got to the first house. I pressed the bell. Pew, pew. An old woman comes out from the house. She's like, "Hey, buddy, how may I help you?" I'm like, "Mom, I'm trying to save the kids in Africa. I work for World Vision. $1 a day saves a kid in Africa." She's like, "Oh, no. I'm sorry. We've maxed out our donation for this year. Maybe you can come back next year." Because I work for World Vision, I seen the vision, I kept moving. I got to the second house. I knocked. An old couple came out. They're like, the man is like, "Buddy, what do you want?" "Sir, I'm just trying to save the kids in Africa. $1 a day save the kid in Africa. Is there a way you want to save the kid in Africa?" He's like, "Oh, no, buddy." Not today. His wife is like, "Baby, don't say that. It's just trying to help the kids in Africa." No donation. I kept moving. I got to the third house. I pressed the bell. Pim, pim. No reply. I knock. Come. At this point in time, I can hear a loud dog barking. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Well, you don't know. Back home in Nigeria, where I'm from, dogs were used as security. I'm scared of dogs, especially the local ones. So any kind of dog, I'm scared. At this point in time, I can hear the dog barking. Whoa, whoa, whoa. At this point in time, fuck the kids in Africa. By the time the owner of the house will open the door, I seen a black sheep running. At this point in time, I'm terrified. I'm sweating. The dog is running. I started running. Fuck the kids in Africa. Fuck everybody. Fuck Justin Trudeau. She's like, no, don't run. Shaggy is not going to bite you. Man, that's not Shaggy. That's Harambe the gorilla. Fuck Shaggy. Fuck everybody. Fuck you. I kept on running. By the time I would raise up my head, I see my neighbor. My neighbor is like, "Why are you running?" "Buddy, you don't even want to know. I just conquered the devil." God damn. So, and can you imagine? So I went upstairs. I went inside my apartment. Who is that black sheep running after me? Only for me to realize, I checked on Google. Only for me to realize, can you imagine the black sheep that was running after me was a Great Dane dog? And for your information, the Great Dane dog, they are one of the busiest dogs. I was running. Anytime I see those dogs, I'll be running. So I'm scared of dogs though. But yeah, about dogs, I feel like animals, they are very, very interesting, interesting people. If I can call them people. Animals. When a dog is horny, they start humping everything. They start humping the chair, they start humping the pillow. If you have a dick looking, they hump your feet too. You know? But we humans, we young too. When a bunny is bunny, a bunny, a rabbit, they start spraying. When they spray, your place starts smelling like an abandoned gas station. But we human beings, we don't spray, we bust a nut, we come and go. When a cat is honey, you know, they stretch a lot. And when they're stretching, it's not like they're hungry, they're trying to fuck. Yeah. I feel like that sometimes, you know, human beings, animals, they start, you know, acting like human beings. I mean, sometimes human beings act like animals. You know, there are women with certain occupations, you have to be careful when dating them. I'm going to quickly round this one up so that I can go. Except if you guys want me to go. You want to keep watching me? Do you want to keep watching me at all? Yeah, women with certain occupations, you have to be careful. When you have to be strategic. I was just dating a lawyer the other day. She broke up with me because I talk a lot. You know, I told all my boys, I'm like, bro, I'm dating a lawyer. Then trouble call me, bro. I got you. She's like, babe, you can't be telling me you're going to be dating a lawyer. I'm like, babe, I gotta help my friend. She's like, shut the fuck up. I'm sorry, my love. Like, shut the fuck up. I'm sorry, my love. I broke up with you. Yeah, guys, she broke up with me. Because I talk a lot. Another occupation you have to be careful is content creator. I was dating a content creator, you know, I'm always dating. I don't know. I need to settle down. I was dating a content creator. We're out there at the dinner table just having food in the restaurant, you know. When you're dating them, the phone has to eat first. He's like, babe, wait, let's take a picture. Okay? Let's take our picture. The phone got to eat first. The handles. I'm there, I'm just trying to eat, man. Every time content. Our relationship is not content. I broke up with her. I found myself, you know, I realized I needed solitude, peace. So I started dating a yoga instructor. You know, as a man, you know, we have to do what we gotta do, you know. So we're there in the bed. I'm trying to, she's like, babe, wait. I better get my chakra together, okay? I better get my chakra together. I'm there like, babe, I'm just trying to bust her nut. She's like, wait, let me get in the right thing. Fuck that shit, fuck that chakra. I broke up with her, that there. But I feel like the best one is when you are dating a serial killer. Because, you know, he already has a high body count. And none of our eggs are coming to show up at your door. But guess what? It might be next to. Thank you very much. My name is David King. Shout out to FEVA TV.
Well, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Skitindasix right here on FEVA Music. I was your host, MC Bonnet, the voice of Africa. Make sure you keep it locked for more variety acts coming up right here on FEVA Music. Peace, Africa.